Hey Comic Heads, Cash Cow back with another video. Guys, as we seeing the C2E2 Fallout from the Black Flag edition of the Ultimate Fallout 4 facsimile Black Flag edition. I kind of wanted to give my insight on everything so far with what I know, or not what I know, or what I've heard and listening to different sides of the story. And here we go. Okay. First of all, I honestly feel like this is all on Black Flag. The Black Flag comics, this is all on them. They create this controversy by not having a limited system to what the customer could buy. You have 750 copies of this comic, and you know that people that are showing up to this event, this Comic-Con, want this comic. So you're gonna make your money regardless because you only have 750 copies of it. So you're gonna sell it. It's gonna sell out. You can guarantee it's gonna sell out. They should have had a limited system with that in place. Then you hear stories about certain YouTube influencers. I hate to use that word, but it is what it is in today's time. Being able to jump the line and buy multiple copies and sell it for 3-4 times the value. That is capitalism in the American way. We understand that as well. It sucks, but we understand that that's the capitalist society that America has created. Anybody that has the funds can step on the next person. It sucks. Alright? So, honestly, with my opinion, when I'm watching certain videos and I'm watching people and I'm seeing what they have to say, honestly, I cannot be mad at anybody in this community or, that is trying to make a dollar or trying to make money to provide for themselves, their family, whatever they need to provide for, right? Because at the end of the day, let's be honest with ourselves, comic books are valuable. I mean, they do dip. They're basically like stock, and that's why I call it my comic stock spotlight, because they're stock. They go up and down, up and down, up and down, right? The problem I think that people have with this is being the fact that you bought multiple copies to sell them for 3, 4, 5 times higher than what they were worth that day. I think that's the problem and then you jump the line to do it. That's the problem with a lot of people. That's where the problem lies at the beginning, because it's like, okay, you bought all these just to sell them at a higher price, not taking into the fact that somebody may not be able to afford the first appearance of Miles Morales. All right. You have to understand that comic books are very expensive, especially the high key end books are very expensive. You have to understand that also. Like, this is an expensive hobby. It really is, all right? So, with that being said, you have to understand that maybe a person that was in that line that day couldn't afford the first appearance in Ultimate Fallout 4, the first print. Maybe they can only afford the second print. Nothing wrong with that, because the second print has jumped up in value as well, because the first print is so crazy. Even though it's starting to slightly come down in the dip, I would recommend anybody that actually can save any money probably get you a first print of that. Right now, it's looking pretty. Hey, I'm seeing several go for 400 to 500. That wasn't happening a while ago, right? But enough of that. We're talking about this Black Flag edition and just understanding everything that's going on with that. I can't be mad at any. Like I said, I can't be mad at anybody that's trying to make money. I can't be mad at that because at the end of the day, comic books are worth money. We wouldn't be collecting them if they weren't worth anything. Like the average person wouldn't really be worried about the new hottest book if it wasn't actually going to be worth something. Like I said, I think the problem is the fact that they know it's going to be sold for 3 to 4 times higher than what people pay for it on that day. That's where the problem lies. It just, at the end of the day, it baffles me because I'm like, why would they do that out in the open? And then, why would certain influencers, if they did, why would they be so bold to feel like, oh, I can jump this line to these people and buy how many I want? Not understanding that everybody has traveled to this Comic Con just like you. Everybody has either flew a plane, drove, took a train, speedboat, whatever. They all have came to this Comic Con just like you. And to the person, I understand their frustration, their anger. To anybody that actually went there, bought the early pass to get in, and then was turned away in the line. That alone will be enough to piss me off and make me do a rant on it. Because that's like saying, okay, well, this person's social status means they're more important to jump the line and buy more of this product than I am. At the end of the day, guys, we all put on our pants the same way. It's no different. It's no different. And Black Flag showed to differentiate. They differentiated people because of their social status. Oh, that's what's the name. Sure, you can buy as many you want because you'll promote our product. No. At the end of the day, everybody's gonna promote your product because the average person that really probably may need it more than that influencer is the person that you need to be worried about. That's the heart of the community. That's the people that buy it that aren't on YouTube videos. They're not trying to be seen. They're not trying to be heard. They're just, hey, I listen to this guy's content. I listen to this girl's content. I like that. Hey, that's a cool cover on that comic book. Oh, I didn't know that. So at the end of the day, you have to understand that as a community, it all goes in a circle. It all helps each other. It all combines. So you need the influencers. They can help the people that actually don't have the key collector apps or the CLZ apps, and they're not consistently studying, okay, what's the first appearance of this? Why is this cover important? Why is this? But then you need the passionate people that actually care about it to drive the community as well. Everybody needs everybody. And that's the problem we have with this community is where you see, oh, you graded your comic got graded by CGC. Oh, your comic got graded by PGX. Oh, your comic got graded by CBCS. It's not gonna sell for that much. It's not that and that. At the end of the day, guys, what does them spending their money on what they want to spend bother you? Why does that bother you so much? It doesn't. You don't be that doesn't put any money in your pocket worrying about what the next person does. Right? That's a big divide we have in this comic book community is, oh, if you use this certain grading service, then at the end of the day, it's your preference. I use PGX, honestly, more affordable. I don't feel like waiting a long time to get my comics back, and I don't feel like having an annual membership to them. I don't. That's something over CDC. I'm not paying an annual membership. I'm not doing it. And I'm damn sure not gonna wait. You heard horror stories of people waiting a year, almost two, just to get comics back? That's insane. Like, I have valuable comics in my vault that I send to get graded when I finally go get them. And I'm like, I'm not waiting a year with valuable comics that's just sitting God knows where, and then you can finally grade it. No. So at the end of the day, guys, you have to understand, were they wrong? Yes. Black Flag was wrong. But the problem people have, and what I've seen with videos is like, oh, don't be mad at the YouTube influencers. You can be mad. If you were there, you have every right to be mad, and nobody should tell you how you should feel. That's the messed up thing about it. Like, how you gonna tell me how I should feel if I stood in line, bought an early pass to get in, and I'm watching this person buy 75 copies, and you're like, oh, you can't be mad at them. The hell I am. I'm gonna be upset. I have every right to be upset. And then the thing I see where people is like, you're gauging everybody's moral compass on the same thing. We're all trying to do the same thing. We're trying to make money. Some people, some, have a moral compass where they realize that it's enough food out here for everybody to eat. That's where people get it wrong. You don't understand that people have that moral compass. They don't want to be greedy. They just want enough to be comfortable. What they did was greedy. Bottom line, you do not need 125 copies of a comic book. That is insane. That is greedy. Plain and simple. That is greedy. And I'm speaking for the people that stood in line that were upset and frustrated. That is greedy. You should be ashamed of yourself. I honestly, I cannot see myself doing that. I would not be standing in line and be like, oh, I'm getting 182 copies, even if I can afford it. The hell do I need it for? At the end of the day, like, guys, you've seen my PGX unboxings, and you haven't seen nothing yet. I still have comics coming. I have big keys. I tend to kind of stay away from the modern variants because I don't want to deal with this bullcrap. That's the last thing I want to deal with. I don't. And then that's the thing is like, at the end of the day, and my question to you, my subscribers, and anybody else that watches this, do you feel like this Black Flag edition facsimile will be worth something and will it stand the test of time, will it be worth something? Honestly. And I need you guys in the comments. Are you planning on investing in it? Do you think it's worth the shot? I mean, the pendulum could swing both ways when we talk about this, because if Miles Morales debuts in the MCU, anything of Miles Morales is going to spike more than what it is now. Like, we're talking about Miles Morales, and he's only appeared in animated movies. So what happens when he appears in the MCU and is done in live action? Ultimate Fallout 4 is going to be untouchable. Second print is probably going to be printing his own money just as well. You got first solo series. That's going to be important. Like, so at the end of the day, it's get what you can, but don't. Why would you feel the need to be like, oh, I'm going to corner the market? Knowing that you're a YouTube influencer, you influence people's decisions, you have to understand that. That carries a lot of weight. When people watch you and they be like, oh, okay, I'm going to look up that comic book because they said that. You have to understand. Come on now. Like that, you have a responsibility. People depend on that. People watch. You wouldn't be as popular if people didn't actually respect what you were saying. But then when you're saying, okay, this is the hot comic, and then you're cornering the market, people gonna look at you like you're a Wall Street executive. Like, oh, okay, you on that type of stuff. So that's just where I'm speaking from the people that I understand why you're upset. I do. And then people just trying to like say, oh, you can't be mad at the person making money. Yeah, you're right. You can't. But it's the way you make money. You have to understand that. That's the problem. The average person is not going to be willing to buy 125 copies or 75 or 80 or 100. There's no need. Maybe 5, 10. Okay. 125 out of 750 count? Like, that's insane. And then you don't like the backlash. Like, you be like, oh, well, why are they upset? Like, can you. The person that stood in line for this. Say if I was number 502, right? And it's 750 comics available. I would miss out on that because somebody bought that many. So that's on Black Flag. They should have had a limit to what you can buy and left it at that. It's just it's frustrating because at the end of the day, you have people that take a break from this community. You have people that kind of distance themselves because they don't want to be They don't want to deal with the drama. And at the end of the day, we're grown. It's grown women and men acting like kids. Oh, you don't grade with this. Ugh. Oh, you don't buy this comic. You're stupid. Da, da, da. At the end of the day, it's my money. If I want to spend that however the hell I please, how does that bother you? But when you're cutting out honest, hardworking people, and I'm not saying honest as in like the people that built up their YouTube channel, if they built it up the right way, yes, they worked their ass off. But don't cut out another person just to be greedy and do it your way. Like, come on now. That's trash, man. That's trash. So at the end of the day, guys, what I hopped on here for, because, you know, I don't speak about it unless I have the comic. And I don't have the comic. It's one of the few rare times you'll hear me speak on this. But it was just a controversy and controversial thing. And I knew when I saw the first video, I was like, oh, this is going to set some stuff off. But honestly, do you think this comic is going to be worth anything? Do you think because it's infamous and controversial that it actually will stand the test of time? Part of me, in a way, feels like it may. Because the average consumer is still going to want the comic. It's infamous. It stands out. You see the comic, you see the cover, you already know what it is. Will it be worth more than the first print of Ultimate Fallout 4? I doubt it. But would it be worth some change? Yeah, I believe it will be. Guys, I'm lost for words with all this crazy stuff that's going on. And I honestly just want to say, invest in what you want to invest in. Spend money where you want to spend it. Grade with whoever grading company you want to do. At the end of the day, Everybody that's like, oh, putting down each other and all that, they're not spending money to help you. They're spending their money on what they want. You should spend your money on what you want. So, guys, like I said, answer that question for me. Do you think this comic is going to be worth anything? Part of me feels yes. Part of me feels no, because we've seen modern variants kind of, but then we've seen variants that stick out that's withstood the test of time. That's the end for it today, guys. I just, ugh. Eesh. You like the content, subscribe, comment, share. Please comment. Just please comment, because I want to know what you guys' opinion is on this. Is it worth it? Is it not worth it? What are you thinking about doing? Are you going to wait till the price go down and then buy you one? At the end of the day, it's however you want to do it. It's cash cow.